been a while since we popped in and did a good recipe video. So with the holidays coming up, I've had a few people that have been requesting the vegan pepperoni rolls. So I said, hey, let me just go ahead and record this video while I'm at it for anybody else that's like me. I mean, the vegan pizzas that they have in the store, you know, they're good with the spinach and the squash and the peppers, but every now and then you're like, man, if you're like me, I miss a good pepperoni pizza. So this vegan pepperoni recipe is very, very good. I mean, so close to the point to where I even had my daughter to try it, and she's very picky, and you've seen her in the vegan carrot dog recipe that we did. She actually enjoyed it and said, Mama, you may be on to something. So let's get started. We're going to do the wet ingredients on this first. And you're going to need cracked black pepper, and I like to use sea salt. So you want about 2 teaspoons of the black pepper, and for the sea salt, about 2 teaspoons as well. So I just went ahead and mixed those together already, put those off in there. So we have that. You're going to need mustard seed. So grab you some of that mustard seed, and you want about 2 teaspoons. Actually, I did 2 tablespoons. I'm sorry, 2 tablespoons. And I'll put the recipe down in the description under the video as well. So I actually did 2 tablespoons of the mustard seed to give it that really good and rich flavor. So we're just going to pop those in. Next, we want our fennel seeds. A tablespoon, just a tablespoon of those. Next, you want garlic, and I have about 5 cloves here that I've already put together. I've seen some recipes that use the sweet paprika, but I like a kind of smoky flavor to it, so I actually use the organic smoked paprika, you know, but it's up to you. So I did 2 tablespoons of that. Next, we have the dried chili flakes, but actually I went with a Southwest Chipotle. So again, it's up to you. And so I'm just going to pop in about 2 tablespoons of that. So I mean, it has a good punch to it. And I do have crushed red pepper. So, you know, let's be a rebel. Give it some good flavor, you know, so it's going to be nice and rich, and I like a nice rich kind of smoky flavor to it, kind of true to the natural pepperoni, right? Next, you want miso paste, and you want 2 tablespoons of that. But again, I kind of switched mine up the last time, and I actually did 2 tablespoons of miso paste mixed with a tablespoon of tomato paste, just to give it a good rich flavor. But again, I'm going to put the recipe down in the comments, and you can kind of do it how you want to. But again, like I said, I use the miso paste and the tomato paste just for that richness and that flavor, right? We got some nice communion wine, or if you don't want to use the wine at all, you can actually use vegetable stock, but you're more than welcome to use the vegetable stock, or if you just want to use the straight regular red wine, you can do that. And that actually calls for 1 1/4 cup. With this one, what I did was a cup of the red communion wine, right? We gotta stay right around here, right? Get right, saints. Put that wine down. And I did a 1/4 of a cup of vegetable stock. So just to kind of balance it out a little bit, right? And then red wine vinegar. And I did a tablespoon of that. So, and I believe that's all of our ingredients. And so you want to put this into a blender that's going to blend it really good. Now blend this until it's nice and smooth, right? All right, let's take a look and see what we got here, right? Oh man, you guys see the richness of this here? And it's already smelling like our wonderful, delicious pepperoni. This is going to be a good batch, but I'm just going to blend it just a little bit more, just because I really want to make sure it's real smooth when I get ready to mix it in with the dry ingredients, right? We don't want any of the lumps of the seeds or anything like that. So we're just going to blend it just a little bit more, all right? All right, y'all hang on. All right, and I can already see, I mean, it's very smooth, it's well mixed, and I tell you, that's why I tried a couple of the other blenders, but I eventually just went ahead and invested in me a good old-fashioned Vitamix. This smells like pepperoni already. I don't know if you guys can see here how rich and nice. This is going to be a very, very good batch. All right, so now let's get ready to start on our dry ingredients, all right? So let's go ahead and get our dry ingredients put in. You're going to need Vital Wheat gluten. You want 1 cup of that. And the normal brand, the Bob's Red Mill, I could not find anywhere. You know, with so many people now being a lot more health conscious, you know, I could not find it at any of the stores. So I went with this brand here, and I've actually made a vegan brisket with it, and this came out really, really good. So it's Nature Tonics, not paid to give them a shout out or anything. Vital Wheat gluten. So, and actually I made the pepperoni last time using that. And for that fatty look, you buy the salami, the pepperoni roll, you know, the little white fatty pieces that are off in there, and we know what those are, right, in real pepperoni. But to kind of simulate that, tofu, 2/3 of a cup. And so you just want to, you know, make sure it's drained, dried out, and you just want to crumble that. And what it's going to do is, you see, once we start to knead this together, it's going to kind of do its own thing and adhere itself out. So we're going to add in now the wet mixture that we put together. And I'm telling you guys, this smells already so much like a nice, rich pepperoni. I cannot wait until this is done. And so you're just going to add this in to your dry. Get as much of it out of there as we can. All of our delicious flavors. We don't want any of those left behind. All right. And then we're just going to blend this in. And then if you have actually a KitchenAid, but KitchenAid is not in my budget right now. So, hey, we're just going to have to do it the good old-fashioned way and just kind of blend this together, because we're going to, once we start rolling it, we're going to need to make sure this is kneaded together really, really good. So I'm going to make sure you guys can see here. But, you know, it's already starting to take on that good pepperoni color to it. So you just want to make sure all of that's mixed up. And then I'm actually going to pop it out here in a minute and start to knead it together. All right, so just continue to work this and knead it in really, really good. And if you have a rolling pin, you can kind of take that to it too. And what I'm actually going to do is just let this sit for a little bit and then come back and knead it a little bit more. Okay, guys, so at this point, we've let it sit for a little bit. We want to start forming this after, like I said, make sure you knead it really, really good. We want to start forming this into somewhat of a sausage shape here. All nice and ready to go. All rolled out. So now we're getting ready to wrap these. Okay, now what we're getting ready to do is roll and wrap these now that you have them formed out in parchment paper. Roll it nice and tight there. Go ahead and twist up the end. Or you can cut off the excess if you want. I just usually just twist them up. All right, so now we're going to put these in the foil. Just roll them. And make sure it's nice and tight. All right, guys, so we have our 3 here wrapped in the baking parchment and then the foil. So now what you want is plastic wrap. And you're going to want to kind of lean against it so you can make sure this is nice and tight. All right, we have them all wrapped, all 3 ready to go. Now it's time to put them into the water bath. And you just want to fill up your pan with water. All right, so now you just want to take your pan of water, standard pan of water here, and we're going to put that on. Okay, let's get ready to get these into the water. And remember, you don't want the water to boil at any point. You just want it to simmer because these are going to sit in there for an hour. Okay, we'll be back in an hour. That was a fast hour, wasn't it? So these have done their thing for the last hour. So now it's time to see what we got, right? They are nice and firm, and that's how you can tell once they're ready too, is once they're nice and firm to the touch. So they had a good soak in that hot water. So once they're nice and firm, they're all ready to go. So let's open these up, see what we got. And here we have it, 3 beautiful, beautiful pepperoni rolls. There we go. So let's cut into it and see what we got. And I usually like to wait till they're a little bit cooler, but we're just going to go ahead and slice into this. Very nice, very nice. You can see how those tofu broke down in there and really simulate that fatty texture or that fatty consistency that regular pepperonis have in them. So let's try a slice and see how they came out this time. Smell that. It smells so delicious. Can you smell that? Do you have smell-o-vision? That's it. The spice really comes through. You can definitely taste the smoked paprika that's off in there. I mean, it really has that rich kick to it. Man. And I was trying not to go as spicy as last time, but they definitely leave a little pepperoni flavor in your mouth. So I hope you guys make these. There you have it. I'm so glad you guys popped in. I would love to see if you make this recipe, how yours turned out, and if you would just gladly put a link to it down in the comments. But I hope you enjoy your vegan pepperoni. Thanks for watching, guys.